If you are under the age of 18 and are watching this video, please stop now. This content was not intended for you. Hey everybody, it's Tamika and I am here with an Alina Cuddle design team project. Today I am sharing with you some items that I'm using for my project, and I'm starting out with 8.5 by 11 vellum. I'm also using this die stamp set. It's a ticket die that I've put inside the same packaging as a rectangular die with the coordinating stamps. I'll have the links for everything down below. I just like to keep that set together because it works well together. Also, I'm using pieces from a mini album die set. The lock and key is what I'll be using in today's project. I'll be using the Slimline heart. I love this. This is my first time cutting it out and I absolutely love it. It's a Slimline die with a bunch of hearts. And this stamp and die set with these butterflies. I've put the dies in the back. I keep them together so I can know that I have a set whenever I want to use it, and then they all are together. And then also this hot foil plate. I'm using the Love Word and the Love Offset die to go along with. So those are the items that I'll be using from Alina Cuddle. So I will have the links down below. Let's get started with the project. So I started out by stamping and die cutting out the Happy Valentine's Day sentiment, and I also used the ticket die to cut out the tickets in white heavyweight cardstock and copper colored cardstock. And then I am sharing with you 3 of the sentiments that I put on my ticket matchbook, my little ticket coupon book for my husband. I use my silhouette machine and my We Are Memory Keepers foil apparatus to do one long hug, one fettuccine. He loves my homemade fettuccine, so I'll make a personal jar for him, and then I have one long hug or one cuddle or something. So I filled up the front and back of the tickets. Some I'll share, some I won't. Thumbs up for that. And then I'm using my glue, wet adhesive. I'm using art glitter glue here, and I have it in just a little tiny bottle. I'm applying that to the lock so that it can be a little bit more sturdier. And I'm eventually going to pop that on pop dots and use it as a decorative piece. And I am doing the same thing to the key, which will be a decorative element as well. I was going to try to use them as charms, but they looked better just as decorations and they didn't hang off oddly on the ticket book, so I thought that was a better choice. I have taken the sentiments that I foiled and put them on the ticket strip using some hot glue, kind of pop them up separately from the ticket. I love this die. You can just rip it off quite easily, and he can just give me his coupons whenever he wants. So I'm just sharing with you how I applied them on there. I left them all attached, and I just will eventually fold them up. So I put the rest of them on there, and I use my Tim Holtz tiny attacher to keep them together. That rogue long rectangle is going to be my matchbook. So all I've done was kind of measure where the ticket started and stopped, and added some score marks so that it'll fold over easier. The little gap that I left in between for the fold over is like 1/4 of an inch. So I have 1/4 of an inch at the bottom and 1/4 inch at the top, and then just fold it over. Like there's no measurements for this. You just kind of see where you are as far as your base coupon book, and cut the depth that you need, which in my case, like I said, is about 1/4 inch. So that's going to flip over the top there, and I'm going to cut off the excess, and I use a little bit of hot glue at the top part of that just to keep it secure inside the matchbook. And as you can see, those fold over quite nicely. And I'm cutting the ticket book apart. I cut an extra piece so that I can have like a little decoration at the top of the ticket book, and that's where I'm putting the Happy Valentine's Day on there. And he'll keep this in his little pocket or his little wallet so it won't get out around the house, be floating around where everybody can see it. So I just put a little dimension in between that white piece and that copper piece so that the bottom can tuck underneath and kind of close, use it as a closure. So I like how I did that. And then the other half of the ticket goes at the top, and that is where I'll place the lock piece component. And then the other half is going to go in the back along with the key. So You'll see me put that there, and then there's a lock there that I'm using a little bit of foam tape to apply to the back, and just like, hey, keep this a secret, buddy. So that's the end. Great little gift. You can personalize it with whatever you want on the inside. So to go along with that ticket book, I'm going to make a little card, and this is that Slimline heart die. I love the stitching. My camera wasn't ready for me. There it is. I love the stitching on the edges. It's just so cute. So I cut out 2 of the panels, and I'll apply them back to back. But first I'm adding a little layer on the inside of my card. Just adds a nice finished look. Even though it's white, it just adds a finished look for the sentiment. And then I'll use my art glitter glue again to adhere both of these panels together. I put it all around the perimeter, and I just chose random little chunks of spaces on the card to adhere a little bit more glue so that it can stay, it don't flop around. It won't, but I just like to make sure that the middle is kind of secure as well. So I just placed them in random places, and then once I was satisfied with that, I'm going to go ahead and add the panel to the top, lining up my hearts. This was super cute. Side note and tip, use those little heart pieces in your shakers. So put them in a bowl, put them somewhere, and then I'm going to do the same thing for the welded together pieces when I lay it on top of the panel. The base panel is just a singular die, as you saw at the beginning, but if you fold your paper in half and run it through your die cutting machine, just putting that die slightly on the edge, it'll make a fold over. So nice and easy. I did recut it out in some of that bronze paper, the layers, so I could have some cute little bronze hearts. And I use my glimmer foil machine to foil the word love, hot foil, and use some rose gold foil, and then I use more of those copper papers to die cut the butterflies. There's the offset of that love. Is that not so cute? I'm going to use that somewhere else, but they don't match perfectly with the rose gold foil, almost, but they're a little off. So what I decided to do was go ahead and add that vellum that I showed you at the beginning to kind of soften that, and now they look perfect. It looks like I foiled the butterflies as well, which I didn't, but don't tell anybody. So I just cut them all out in vellum, and the ink wasn't stamping to this paper, so I decided not to use the stamp. So I like how this turned out even better than I would, I think, if I had stamped it. So I'm just placing the butterflies on the panel, which I'll hot glue down later. And I'm going to take that love down at the bottom and add some dimensionals to it, and add that to the bottom of my Slimline card. And I've already secured the butterflies in this panel here, so I wanted them to kind of have a big one in the middle, and you know, kind of look like they're flying. Would have been nice if I had some tails or something, but I think I love my alternative a lot better than tails. So I just added random dots of wet glue to the circles, and this is why I chose 2 panels instead of the one. When you layer them like that, it adds a little bit of dimension, takes it off the card a little bit more movement, but also I can take those hearts, which is why I cut them in a different color, and put them on the inside so they can inlay. I don't know what is wrong with my lazy tongue right now. Like, seriously, catch up, girl. So they can inlay inside the card. So I just stopped and started and seen where I needed the hearts to be, and I added the hearts. As you can see, I changed different utensils. I have my little pokey tool. I have my gummy dots thing. I used some tweezers. I was like trying to get these in there. Me and my fat fingers and nails were not working with this, but what ended up working the best is that thing that I'm using now, which is the dots. You pick up the dots with the little gummy, and then I use the bottom of that other tip to push them in, because I wanted them to be in a little bit, so a little deeper. So I love it. It's so cute. Take a little look. Do I need any more? Yeah, I need one right there, so I'm gonna add one right there, and then I'm like, oh, do I need any more? Yes, you need one at the top. So yeah, that's what I did, just to kind of see how the hearts are kind of going in like an S pattern. which means like fluttering and love. That's my interpretation of it. So instead of having like the tails, I have the hearts kind of moving in an S upward. Love, love, flutter, butterflies. You see that? Can you see it? I do. So I ended up adding a little bit of these flat back adhesive dots to the center to, you know, mimic the body of my butterfly, and they turned out really, really cute. I love them, so I did that to all three. And because I creased the center, I put them kind of offset a little bit. That big one was fine because that's a big body baby, honey. She was holding all the dots. But this one up here, this tiny one, was giving me a little bit of trouble. So I kind of put her little body off to the side. She's shifty a little bit. So I think I'm done here, but I'm like, no, no, I need one more thing. And you know what that one more thing is? Ha! A chalk pen. And if this didn't add the piece de resistance, the final bite of prettiness, I don't know what else would have. I used this cute little chalk pen, chalk marker from the Dollar Tree. Okay, it's giving me all the life. And I outlined the vellum. So it looks like I either have an outline of the butterfly or it looks like I did some embossing. But again, don't tell anybody I did that. It's a little hack, honey. Yes, and she looks gorgeous. So instead of etching the die like I was going to do at the beginning on the edges, I traced literally the whole outline of the butterfly. And yeah, again, giving me all the lives, all of them. And it is so, so cute. You guys will see a picture at the end. Ooh, that reminds me, I got to take the picture. I'll do that. I'll do that and come back. So yeah. So anyway, this is the end of it. I hope you guys like what I created. I'm just going to finish this out and tell you guys that please take a second. If you can, pause this if you need to, and like this video, leave a comment and let me know what you think. Check out the items in the description box. This is just me showing you a recap of that gorgeous card that I absolutely love. My husband saw it because he saw me working on it. This is why I'm doing an voiceover, because he's in the next room recording, so I have to talk over it. But that's the end, guys. I will talk to you guys later. Bye.